Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Now we're going to do a review of Trekking the World, a set collection game where you race to score the most points visiting different destinations around the world. Now this is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play. First, we'll give an overview of how the game works, then we'll give a rating and our reasons for our rating, and then I will compare it to some games you see behind us. So this is how we ended the game. If you watched our How to Play and Playthrough, you'll see that I was the first to collect 5 destinations. Julie collected 4.
Mm-hmm.
You could also end the game when the 5th of 6 bonus region tiles are collected. So for instance, we collected all the souvenir tokens in North America, and I got this 2-point bonus. Julie collected them all in Australia
and
here.
I almost got all of them in Asia.
Almost got them all in Asia, and she got this bonus token. So there's 2 ways to end the game. Here's our trekkers, and we're going to be moving around, and you use these cards, these trek cards. You use the number to move, and you can combine them. For instance, if you really want to move far, you can move 6 or 5, but you have to move the exact amount. And then you also use the symbols on the cards to collect destinations. And this is, if you collect the one on the furthest right, you get a 5 bonus. So this is actually worth 21 if you go here to South America to this location. Old Havana is worth 10 plus 3. And so say somebody went there, it slides down, and then now this would get a bonus of 3 points. And so you got to turn in matching cards, trek cards, to collect it. But you do have a journey log here. So if you turn in 2 of a kind, like 2 red or 2 yellow, you can take a tour for 1 for your icon, and you get 3 extra bonus points. So let's say I turned in 2 blue, and I had the yellow and purple. You get a purple here. So these were my cards, and I moved to Old Havana. I turned in 2 blue to take this journey log, and now, well, actually I have what I needed. I wouldn't say I didn't have the adventure card, the yellow card. I can turn in the purple and collect this.
And you get 2 of those.
And I would get 3 for it being in this position and 3 for using the log action. And then there's another log action you can do here. And when you play the game, it changes every time. You have different journey log cards you can use to make the game different. So you're using your trek cards to move around and to complete destinations. You also see these souvenir cubes in our suitcase. As you land on locations, you can't pass through another player, so you can block each other. But when you land on the location, so for instance, if I spend this 2 and I go 1, 2, I don't collect that yellow. I would collect this white here because I landed on it, I'd add it. And you get points at the end of the game on columns you make. So you get 3 points for this column, 6 points for this one. You know what? I think we were supposed to add 3 plus 6. So it's actually, so when we did our add it up, we thought we both had 6. It's actually we both had 9. Maybe. No, I think it is 6.
No, I think it's just 6.
Yeah, it's not 3 plus 6.
No.
It's 6. There you are. I'm doubting myself. But I did fail to add 10 points. When we ended the game, I was 114 to 98. I did not add up my total here correctly when you watched the playthrough. So, but also, you get these bonus souvenir cards. The first one to collect 2 gets that color. So I was the first to collect 2 blues, so I got this one. It's worth 6 points, and it's worth more in a 3 or 4 player game. Julie managed to beat me on white, red, and yellow, and got all 3 of those bonuses. Mm-hmm. And it can go back and forth. Let's say, for instance, Julie had 2 yellow, and I had 2 yellow. If I were to get the 3rd yellow, I would take that yellow from her. And then she would have to get 4 to take it back from me. So it's pretty simple. The turn order, you can use airports to move to another airport if you begin your turn there. You must play a trek card to move. And then you get choose 2 actions. You can draw 2 cards, you can draw blindly, or take one and then see the next one before you take your second card. You can take a tour, which means you spin your cards, the symbols on your cards, to get a destination. And then you can do a journey action, or in this case allows you to claim a destination or move up to 4 and then draw 2 cards. But then you have to turn in 2 of a kind to do that. So that's how you play. Now let's go over our rating.
Yes.
And then we'll give our reasons, and then we'll compare it to the games behind us. Let's see here. We both said 9.
Whoa, yes.
Very much enjoyed playing. This game's been out a few years. We got it on sale, I don't know, about within a year, maybe 6 months ago. And we very much enjoyed this game.
Oh,
That's
very
because they published Trekking Through History.
That was so much fun.
Which was a Kickstarter that we backed, and that's why we looked into it, because we also saw them at Gamma, and we were impressed with their production quality. So let's go over now our reasons for our rating.
Okay.
So it's an elegant set collection race game to score the most points, which I explained. It's easy to learn, teach, and play. The rule book is excellent. There are a couple things you got to pay attention to. For instance, you got to move exactly. This makes I put little notes in there. That should be bolded. And then there's no hand size limit. That should be bolded. Other than that, though, the rule book is outstanding. It has examples. It just has little rules buried in it that you would probably want to make note of. But it is easy to teach, learn, and play. In fact, we're going to have a game night on Friday. I think we'll play this on Friday.
Yes, I think we will.
So it's simple and fun mechanics with some strategy. So it does a little bit of that Ticket to Ride, draw cards, use cards to, instead of laying routes, you're moving, and set collection like Ticket to Ride. But the souvenirs makes it interesting. But the thing that makes a lot of strategy is that if I was trying to get Havana, I have to move there and have the cards to get it. I can't begin my turn there because you always have to move. So that's where the tension comes into play. And I say Julie was like this. I would have to go around. So you'll see that when we watch the playthrough. I got screwed up one turn where I wanted to go somewhere, but she was blocking me.
I didn't even realize I was.
Well, I was blocking you too.
Yeah.
So it's not too mean. You'll see there was one time in the game where I took something that Julie wanted. In the race part, obviously, trying to get these. Now, if you know somebody's in your area, you got to be worried about it. But usually, for most of the game, Julie was over here and I was over here. But then when we started going here, we started to get more interaction. So there's not much take that, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing art and quality pieces. They do a good job here. You'll see that this is a linen, which means it's a foil stamped.
A cute turtle.
Yeah, and the artwork's outstanding. The only thing I would say is these cubes are not very thematic. They did a good job of making the pieces and trekking through history. Can you hand this to me, please?
I will do my best. Oh, there you go.
Because this was a Kickstarter game, they were able to make the pieces even better.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would... So if they come out with an edition of this on Kickstarter, it would be nice to update these souvenir tokens. They're just cubes. That's the most boring part of the game in terms of pieces. Everything else is outstanding. So that's why I said missed opportunity for more thematic pieces with the souvenir tokens. And then educational merit. You are going to learn some geography.
Yep.
Now, it would be nice to have them label the countries here. So the geography isn't as high as the games we're going to compare it to. But you are going to learn where things are. And the math in terms of adding up your points at the end is kids are going to enjoy, they're going to practice their math without realizing it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what do you have to say?
I don't know. Oh, it's a fun race set collection game, as David said. I thought the components are decent. They're good. It's a great way to travel without the hassle of the airport and luggage. It's awesome. It's easy to learn and play, and I feel that the playing time is just right for 2 players. It doesn't drag. You're moving constantly, so you don't feel like, oh my God, it's been 30 minutes. It's like, wow, we did this, and we're done in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Now, one thing I forgot to mention, this actually is more educational merit than I realized. There's actually, you can learn about the places here, so you will develop reading skills.
Oh, there you go.
This is not necessary to play the game, but if you, now, your child would have to be
a really good reader.
This is probably at least 5th grade, 4th or 5th grade level, maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt it's 3rd grade level. I'd have to do a reading evaluation. But at least you can learn. It has text here, so it will develop some reading skills. So even though I said it didn't have, the countries on here, which would have been nice, you can learn about the places by reading about it.
Yeah.
That's
good.
So it has more educational merit than I thought until I saw it.
And I agreed with David on the art is just, oh my gosh, outstanding. But I didn't know he already said it until right now, but
It's okay. That's
I
why
agree.
we give her different reasons.
Yeah.
All right, so let's compare it to other games behind us.
Oh, all right. I like this part.
So, as you trekking through history, this is the same company. This doesn't have the geography in it,
No.
but I have this out here to point out that has better pieces because it was kickstarted. That's one of the reasons. Now, unfortunately, 10 Days in USA is available. It was reprinted by a different publisher. Out of the box, is no longer in business. We have the whole series of 10 Days in Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas.
And my mother-in-law loves these.
Now, here's the thing. We haven't played these in years.
No.
They are solid games,
Yep.
but there's not a lot going on. So when you play this game, you have to create, using these cards, a connecting route on the map. And this has more geography though in it because it has all the countries. Of course, there might have been some that changed, especially when you get into this part of Europe. This can change over here a lot. Okay, I think it's still the same. I think it's up to date. But the point is, you got to create a route where you go from Poland to Belarus to Russia to Finland. You can use like a plane ride. So you are learning the geography, but it's not as exciting as trekking through the world. It would be, like I said, there's a missed opportunity here for them to show the countries on the map. That would have been nice to do. Unfortunately, this is out of print.
Oh, darn.
This one is available, and I think they changed it slightly.
Oh.
The original edition is not the same. So it's not as complicated a game. We haven't played it in years because of that. We have it for grandchildren. And if we're not opposed to playing it, it's just there's games that have more depth that we'd rather play. Now let's take a look now. Obviously, Ticket to Ride Europe. Now, this is similar in terms that you're going to be using your cards to complete routes.
Great.
Now, do you have the geography element in here as much? No.
No.
You're learning cities. It would be nice if it said Portugal and Spain here. So the geography, at least you're learning cities. That's about as much geography you're going to get out of it. And the same thing with, I believe. Now, these are classic games. We have almost all the Ticket to Ride.
Yes, we do.
And I'm only showing a couple of them here because...
We have a lot.
And again, here, you're not showing the states. So you're going to learn cities.
Yep.
Okay, and the last one, which we compared to in another review, is this is out of print, Expedition Famous Explorers. It is a world map like this game. And what you're doing is you're trying to complete expeditions on cards. And you are learning locations, but you're not learning countries. You're learning special places.
Yeah.
See? And you're laying down arrows. You're working on the blue, the yellow, and the red route together, but you're racing to complete your expedition cards. So this has educational merit in terms of learning about these special places. And we haven't played this in years either. It's solid. We've played Ticket to Ride more than we've played the 10 Days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This has probably been 7 years since we played this. This one is about the same amount of time because we played it with my mother. But we played Ticket to Ride.
A lot.
We still play it every year, at least one of the sets. But this one here, yeah, I can't see us. We'll probably play Trekking the World over these. Doesn't mean we won't play these someday again. But we're more likely to play Trekking the World over these two.
Yeah.
Ticket to Ride, it's just a different game.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We're still going to play Ticket to Ride. And Trekking Through History, what would you rather play? Trekking Through History or Trekking the World?
Oh, that's a tough one because I really love them both. It's two different types of games. If you think about it, this is history.
I'd rather play Trekking the World over this one. Even though I'm a social studies teacher at secondary, I'm also elementary teacher.
It's a tie for me, honestly. I really enjoy them both.
We haven't played this in months. We
haven't played this in a long time either, except the other. We did play it. My point is,
we're going to be playing Trekking the World on game night, but we're not going to be playing this one. So what does that tell you?
Okay.
So when you see our review on this, you can see a review of this game. I wouldn't use this as much in the classroom because the history is all over the place. It would be enrichment, whereas I can see using this slightly a little bit more than Trek. I don't know.
I like them both. Yeah, I'm saying it's a tie for me. I enjoy both of them.
I think
very
they are.
much.
You're both enrichment because you're in the trekking history one. There's information about history you can read as well.
Exactly.
So I think you're both playing for enrichment, but I think I see this one getting to the table easier than trekking history.
Maybe. Well, for sure it's going to be on game night, so there you go.
Well, time will tell.
Yep.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.